Capricorn. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. We are here to do the update for you guys. Now, the way I do these reads are to guide you through the month to show you some things that are going to come up, what the best times are, what the not so lucky times are, and what the major themes are astrologically. Now, we have had the nodes in your zodiac sign for 2.5 years, and they are going to be shifting out of that. So some of you may have been handling this quite uniquely. Others of you might have found it quite difficult because it was your first house placement. Forward, you're visiting the energy of yourself being quite with Saturn, the level up of the zodiac, the boss of the matriarch. And now moving into Aquarius, it does fall into second house placement, which is your professional resources, your value, your worth, your net worth, so to speak, and really looking at those areas. And it can be with the energy of Aquarius. Aquarius is wider group, so it can be branching out, growing, expansion when it does come to it, especially when we do have the really great aspects of Jupiter. Now, we're all going through this transformative state. You guys are sort of kicking off the end state of this. Cool. So you're kicking off the end state of this. Now, you know, what's going to be coming through? We're still going to have eclipses in your zodiac sign and in Cancer. And for you guys, you know, Cancer is your shadow sign. I'm also noticing where Aries falls for you, which you guys at home, in the past, I do feel, and considering we have Aries and Chiron for 8 years in that area, potentially, it does fall in your home zone. So with your home zone being fourth house placement, your psychology connected to that. There might have been some battles there. There might have been you've fought really hard to get what you have. And with the second house placement, it's really looking at that and culminating it and bringing it full 360. Any restarts that you've had to have, you've maybe really battled on having these restarts, or maybe been fighting to keep everything similar. But this transformation is coming through in a very positive way for you. The full moon for you guys, again, does link into the collective energy of the 8th house. And being that it's full moon on the 7th, the energy coming up is your 3rd house. Now, let me double check. So we're going to have the sun in Gemini, sextiling Neptune on the 10th. And again, it's your health, it's your employment, it's your day-to-day routine, it's your communication. And again, you can have a really grand idea on that date. The full moon in Scorpio on the 7th, however, can be a very testing time because it is that of what we've been fixated on and connecting in with. Now, let me look at where it lands for you. Okay, especially with your finances. So it does make sense, especially with Saturn moving into Aquarius for you, which does pertain to finances and energy of income. So those frequencies are going to come up for you guys. And then, again, for the zodiac signs in general, there's a lot of leveling up. With your diet, your health, your nutrition, if you've been burning the candle at both ends, if you've been really busting yourself to make a dream come true, there can be really beneficial aspects that happen on the 10th. It can be a grand idea, it can be a theme. And again, remember through this whole month and moving forward with Saturn visiting Aquarius, it's going to give us some insight into what 2021 and beyond is going to look like, because it will be moving into that sign for 2.5 years. So we do have a brief view of that prior to it occurring. And we're also having the nodes move on the 5th, which for me it's today. So I am a bit late with these zodiacs, so apologies ahead of time. Where these transformations can take a bit of time to cycle out. And, you know, even Leo King was mentioning this last year. It was almost like last call. If you've been in alignment and you've been moving towards such, you're going to be okay. If you still feel imbalanced and there were some things you needed to do, especially since Cancer is your 7th house placement, you know, moving away from that and potentially moving back to self might have been a theme initially. And, you know, really maybe doing some healing based on that, of looking at, do we need to be family, okay? So there's tribe orientation going on, and there's also mindsets and conditioning that we were purging. Mercury trining Jupiter is very positive. Just be mindful of your 12th house, because when it does come to your dreams, 12th house can be the house of the undoing. but it's more, especially since you've got your Aries placement, you're going to need rest. So when I'm saying that, your 4th house placement and the energy of Aries, if your home is not your sanctuary, it will cause dramas in your frequency for you to proceed forward. 4th house can also be where we're not fixated so much that if we have something, it means we're safe. It's a very much a purge of that effect so that we're not looking outside ourselves, we're looking inside ourselves, and it creates a lot of strength inside our zodiac signs. Mercury will directly be entering into Gemini, and for you, again, it's your 6th house. So anything health, anything orientated to your psyche, fitness plans and things to that degree on the 11th can be coming up. Now, the squaring aspect on that same day is Mercury squaring Aquarius in Mars. The reason I'm saying that is you're going to need to integrate things. It'll be a time when you might have some great ideas, but they're not all coming together all at once. So it might be a bit more patience needed on that day. Squaring aspects can be uncomfortable. How do we interpret it? So the more dominant energy, which potentially, in your communication sector, your health may end up not being in focus. Your routine may go out the door. So you tend to get the more dominant energy coming through. So pick your poison, see which one it is. But squaring can almost be like the T section of the road. Yeah, I want to do that, but I have to do X, Y, and Z first. Just be patient with yourself during that day. The other aspect I really want to focus on for you guys, you do have a lot of going inward. Now, this can be the Sun trining Pluto. I feel you guys are going to go inside and really have this reflection into your relationships, your connection, your employment, and how you see yourself and really gaining confidence with yourself. I don't feel your zodiac isn't confident. I do feel the adversity you would experience potentially has actually worn you down, and you do need to pay attention to the 6th house during Venus retrograde. Now, your whole health and 6th house placement will be in focus for 2.5 years. So get used to hearing the 6th house, and when it comes to it, you'll understand it as it moves forward. Mercury will be sextiling Lilith. That, again, is our shadow sign. It's, really looking at your communication and how you're talking. It can even be connecting in with romances, talking about your hopes and dreams. There can be some benefits in actually nutting over plans and, looking at what you're wanting to do and achieve. The other aspect you do need to look at is when Juno goes direct, what you'll find is you'll gain more clarity in those particular areas. And Juno currently is in Libra. It's the 7th house, which is connecting in with romances. For you guys, Libra falls in your 10th house, which again is your career sector, and communication is going to be the key. It still is marriages, contracts, partnerships. It still takes on that energy of that. And if there have been imbalances, you're going to find you're going to have more clarity about that as Juno goes direct. And that's occurring on the 25th of May. So if you've been really stuck and undecided as to what to do, how to look at a situation, you're going to have more clarity around that time. But we still will have Venus in retrograde, which is quite ironic because they're both Venus signs. Let's get into your read. Another benefiting day can be on the 22nd. And the 22nd, we have Mercury in conjunction with Venus. And this conjunction is very positive, especially when it comes to relationships, your career, gaining luck. So it's a very lucky day for you guys. The only uncomfortable aspect on the 22nd would be Mercury squaring Neptune, which will be just caution with your communication. There can be some uncomfortable truths that you're looking at, but integration is needed and just a bit of patience. You can also gain some insight into maybe what you're needing to change. Now, your chakra you have coming up is the orange chakra, which can be similar to the devil card in the tarot, which is your zodiac sign, but it's more, the devil in the detail. It's also putting the energy, if your chakra is very tight, which you do have 6th house placement kind of activated, when you've got that, if you're feeling fatigued, it's going to affect your drive. So, you know, anything drive orientated, getting things done, if that spindle's not operating correctly, it can actually hinder your forward movement and growth. Okay, where are you guys going? I feel you guys have major plans. Some of them it's like, well, let's interpret it. It's weird because at work you may actually meet someone. We are in Venus retrograde, so pay attention to that. Your work life and your love life seem to kind of correlate. And the reason I'm saying that is in your general energy, the first thing coming up is contracts, connections. This person might be on your mind, be it you're at work or you're not. This person you may have met through work. But I do feel in general, love and connections and doing the things that you like, and a lot of energy coming up during the Scorpion moon is very much out with the old energy and in with the new. Now, I do feel in the past you've had to have a lot of blind faith, and I did mention Juno going direct, and this really does relate to such. There has been a lot of reflection into what's been working, what's not been working, how to get back on track, and who to let into our life, and do they stay or do they go? 9 times out of 10 when we're making decisions and we're scared, which is the orange chakra, we tend to think everyone else in our domain has the control, but we actually do during this process because it does directly relate to us too. I feel you're having courage and you're moving forward, and this can be very much in projects and things that you're wanting to move into. But I do feel this kind of binding energy coming through, wanting to have you know, tapping into the emotions, but having deeper connections, really doing things that you're enjoying. Some of you may wish to shift career more if you're unhappy with the domain and it's affecting your health, but you do need to pay attention to that in May. Yes. If you've really been struggling to get things off the ground and you find no sooner do you start, do you have to stop? This adversity, this break energetically that many of us are having, the break can even come from a mental perspective of where you haven't yet found a solution to a problem. I do feel you're keeping things quiet. You know, you might be having the facade that everything's fine, but inside, I don't feel that you're, I can't say scared. I'd say more the energy of, I haven't quite grasped all this information. I'm not going to jump in the deep end yet. I really need to know what I'm buying into. But there's a deep understanding. You have had a lot of things taken from you, and I do feel if you've got major ideas, you're really in a career sector, keeping them very close to your chest. I do get this energy where you don't feel you're getting what you deserve in some shape or form. Okay. If you are in a situation where you're sharing care of a child, that's for those this is relevant. There could be looking at whatever way you're going, you know, who's putting more energy in than the other. And I do feel this is more a separate scenario going on, that for those of you that have children, if you're sharing care, you can be doing a lot of into a connection or currently are. But I do feel there's a calm around. And, you know, again, did you do enough? Is that okay? I feel you're coming to a closure point with this. But I feel it's more for those of you who had ended a cycle and you do potentially have children and you're looking at that dynamic. Now, during the full moon in Scorpio, some unfinished areas at a karmic level can be coming up, and that's for everyone really collectively. It's sort of like that haunted house. It can be paperwork. It can be very much mother, grandmother energy. You may actually get some information linking in with this person for those of you who it directly relates. Okay, this can be for some of you a divorce, a complete separation, but an ending of one cycle and a beginning of a brand new one. If you're waiting for work, again, it's saying the same thing. An ending of one domain and a beginning of another. But it is the closing out of that cycle and a brand new start. There can be some animosity about this, and it does feel like if other people weren't aware and you have been given an offer or something to that degree, it feels like it's going to be quite beneficial. I'm telling you, this Pluto energy may actually cause a bit of conflict for us this month, although there's not many squaring aspects. In general, the way Pluto operates is quite instant to the point. Now, let me look, because I'm hearing Pluto. Okay, April the 25th to the 4th of October. I'm feeling more it's closer to the full moon in Scorpio, because I do feel it links in very closely to that. So I feel it'll be heavier linking into then. It's not at the critical degree, but I just feel there's going to be maybe several areas of life that are having a shake-up moving into June. Now, although we're having the nodes shift, we're having the eclipses then in the previous signs as well as the Sagittarius energy. So this can be a situation where there's things coming at left field. There's various ways now that there's aspects, but it can't even be on the squaring dates I mentioned. Being independent in this energy is going to be crucial. You or the other person might become quite protective over it. I don't know why this reading is almost turning into a romantic reading complete. Yeah. Okay, so if you are waiting on a love interest and this is your person, they do have something going on that is closing out. It's not an enjoyable cycle. For others, if you're in a connection, again, there's external influences going on here that need to be dealt with to a degree to create some balance in the scenario. I do feel too many people's opinions or too many people's needs, and it's two worlds. It's sort of like two worlds, two roads. Okay, in their mind, they just want to feel free spiritually, emotionally, and, they're getting the energy to actually balance this out. I do feel, again, if this is regardless of the energy, be it male or female, this links in very much with Sagittarius, which is Jupiter, and it can be masculine rising, again, because we do look at Jupiter energy very much linking growth, expansion. Something from the past is coming back, but it's more to be balanced out. Now, at the heart of it, Capricorn, you guys might feel a bit torn trying to get out of this icky mess, tired of getting dragged into scenarios, and really leveling up and, trying to do the right thing by all. And very much that links into the 8th house. There's a lot of envy here. There's a lot of everyone needing on you, and you do need to really pay careful attention to that. Yeah, some imbalances that have not been finalised coming up. They can be for a rerun. I'm telling you, it's the Scorpion moon. Just really stay cautious around that time. You're going to get the outcome you want. It's just slight irritation and adversity. Some of you also may be getting some paperwork sorted where money was owed to you. There can also be old energies of money owed to you, inheritances, etc. Okay. What do they want to tell you for the cross watcher? Oh. They're a bit frustrated. Things haven't gone according to plan. They know that in the past maybe they didn't invest in areas, and it can be vice versa, but it just feels something to a degree at a financial, emotional or spiritual level. Worked hard, but the result they were hoping for didn't come the way it was. They're kind of not wanting to look at that, and they're processing that factor. And due to that, they do know there's two ways this can go. So they're being really careful about how they proceed forward. But the outcome is definitely the Star card. If this person, I'm seeing a scenario playing out here where potentially there's two energies here. There may be two love interests. There may be two potential paths, leaving one energy, moving to another. Be really cautious. You feel this is going to it'll be very, very quick, whatever it is. This could even be level energy out where the connection is getting back on track. However this plays out for you, I do feel someone's going to get left out in the cold, but I feel it's external. I feel it's someone who's been pulling and pushing on you, who has been speaking maybe in victim consciousness. But this is overall where you're heading. The other person who's interfering, this is where they're heading. And again, 5 can be quite karmic. 5 can be very, how do you place it? Change. Change is necessary. People holding on, wanting everything to stay the same. This can be a boss. This could be an XX from many moons ago. This could be a belief system. It's out with the trash at the moment, and it's really not being because you do know how these energies work. And again, I can say it can even be a belief system. But whatever that is, you're not allowing that to navigate you. You're moving forward. I don't feel you're holding on to it. I don't know why I'm feeling the energy of a fight. I almost feel conflict in the fight, and you're just not wanting to be with it. So this can even be suddenly signing paperwork and just saying be done with it for some reason, whatever that is. This can be making you guys this month, especially with the orange chakra, it can create anger, frustration. Yeah, I'm seeing here, this can even pertain to money, finalising a chapter. Just not wanting to fight with this situation any longer. Really, really letting it go. Not fussed about the finances, not wanting to think about this anymore, not wanting to be an enemy, just not wanting to do that. It's like it has come to a close. So this can be a very mental blockage. It could be occurring every day. This is something that is going to be let go of, and the outcome, like I said, guys, is the Star card. I do feel a fight potentially coming up with whomever this is with, but it is to finalise a process. Be getting to a place in a current relationship that you're talking through these things, you're bringing them up, you're airing them out, you're ironing the cracks out, and you're moving forward. You are going to get the best outcome. But it does feel as though these things are going to come to the surface, and it can cause fights. Any questions before I hit the road, Jack? Now, I will keep an eye on your zodiac sign, and that is from the basis that astrologically we're having a lot of things shifting around. I will be giving you guys an update moving into the collective astrology, and for those of you that are twin flames, I will be doing a reading astrologically for you guys. And I'll tap into what is coming up for the collective. I do have one more zodiac sign to do, and that is Taurus. If you're wanting a booking, the link is below, and stay tuned for additional updates so I can tell you how your energy is traveling. Now, anything else I've missed? 12th house, 6th house. Watch your health. Definitely watch your health. If that's coming up for you guys, I feel it's more because of the adversity you've dealt with. So the chakra system, the orange energy can also be siphoning your energy. So if you're really tired, there's a particular reason for it. Really? Everyone was so quiet in the room. I thought you weren't here. I was like, is the chat working? What else can I say? Yeah, pay attention to, look, 12th house again. If you get to the point with the energy of Jupiter falling in your 12th house, let me look. And everyone's personal birth chart will be different. But at a collective level, you guys are very tapped into hunches. So you can be very driven by hunches, spirituality, growth energy, entrepreneurship. communication sector. Yeah, very management-orientated fields. Are you really? Cool. Okay, so how was it relating with the children? Yeah, because that was a real interesting energy to feel. I don't know why I'm tying this bag up. I've got one more reading to do. It's my chakra bag. Yeah, very light going. Light. Whatever this conflict is, guys, it really is sorting out. But, you know, this kind of happens when we go through soul processes, right? You go through all this adversity. And like I said, Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, Aries, Taurus, Leo, your zodiac signs, and look, everyone has a placement of such in some place. Because we've had so many planets in those zodiac signs, including Pisces, it's really been quite heavy. The Aries energy in Chiron will be kind to us, but we need to be careful with our ego because we can come across a bit too confident. He raised his karmic's kids and wanted visitation. Yeah, my twins went through that. And then they were like, bye. Kids grow. You know, it does happen. Yeah, it's strange. There's a wounding there. Just be gentle, because, you know, Capricorn energies can come across very strong. They're very hard on themselves, though. Probably more hard than you'll ever be. So, you know, at the moment, just go. Yeah, it's not nice. Love and light. Thank you for your feedback. I really appreciate it. I'll just have a little mini break and I'll come back. How am I going to have time? I may have time. If I'm not, it will be this afternoon when I pick my daughter up because I've got a 45-minute drive. I was late yesterday and I've got a storm coming. And she was not impressed. I was glad she had friends there, but if I leave her in the rain, in hurricane rain, she'd kill me. But the last one's Taurus. It is going to be done today for me, Perth W. I will be doing the update for that, and then I can get onto the collective energy. And the astrology at a collective level of the themes coming up that I'm seeing. Watch out for the 11th. Watch out for the 25th. Anytime we have the full moon, definitely. And it will be for most of the month. Think about it. With an eclipse energy, it can go on for months after the fact. Moving into it can affect weather patterns. Moving out of it, the same thing. So, you know, you can get, depending on what zodiac sign they're in. Now, we're going to have the first energy of an eclipse in Jupiter energy. Depending on what other aspects. And this month, astrologically, because of where the planets are, you will get funny weather this whole month. Usually it's 4 weeks towards the eclipse. We can get severe weather, earthquakes, tsunamis, things to that degree. We're getting it a whole month early. And that is because of the other aspects of Mercury linked there. So just batten down the hatches, okay? We're getting ready for some shifts and changes. Mother Nature's telling us. Love and light, guys. I'll see you shortly. Take care.